All right, risky keep, one lander, but we do have Mox Amber to cast these Accumulate Wisdoms and Flow States, so we're going to keep. We're against Kahira, so potentially blue-white control. They're only one mana removal spell. It gives us a land, so we're pretty fine to run out this Grand on turn one. All right, just a plains from them. Potentially should have played Mox. So we will play Mox Amber. Let's attack first, see what we draw. We draw second, this town ain't big enough. That is a combo piece. Let's discard. Actually, a little bit tough of a call. First discard. Let's just start filling up the graveyard for Grand. We'll cast this flow state. We do not find a land. Okay. We're just going to take this abandon attachments and hopefully get our Grand turn on. Okay, so we find land. Thank goodness. Now we can again attack with Grand. Let's discard second. This town ain't big enough. We only have one thing to return right now. And we found land. We could flow state, but they're likely leaving up a counter spell. So let's just accumulate wisdom on their turn. And they just play land and pass. So we'll attempt to anticipate. It resolves. We'll take land. All right, so they're pretty obviously just leaving up counter magic. Let's start with a flow state. Okay, and we get the no more lies out of their hand. Let's just attack. We have not played a land. So we played a land this turn. I believe we have. So let's discard. No, we want the card draw for next turn. Let's discard land. And we'll pass. So they play Brazen. This is pretty good for us. We get to get our Vivi down, and all they did was gain 4. All right, and we find a Steam Vents. That's another good find. So let's play Vivi. Tap this, play Springleaf Drum. Now we will tap for blue, tap Grand. We'll draw a card. We will discard Steam Vents. This town ain't big enough. Return Mox Amber, return Springleaf Drum. We get 2 more Vivi triggers. Play the Springleaf Drum. And we don't have a card. So I probably should have left this Springleaf Drum in hand. Yeah, a little bit awkward there. We needed a Storm Chaser's talent to keep the cards flowing. So they stock up. Odds of Vivi living are going up, and we do have Grand plus Vivi turned on next turn. So they play land. And they have a High Noon. Okay. We are now in the main deck High Noon world of Pioneer. Okay, finding this accumulated wisdom is good. Next turn, we can Storm Chasers and level it up. So we can accumulate wisdom. If we find what's it called? A Boomerang Basics. We're in a great position. Okay, they have a Dovin's Veto. But we can Storm Chasers. That puts Vivi up to 7. And then we can double level up and activate, and then start casting. So this does resolve too. And now we will level up, get back an accumulated wisdom. We'll tap Otter and level up Storm Chaser's talent. And then we will attack with our 7 power. So they do not have 4 mana for the Wandering Emperor, so this is a safe attack. They likely need to chump here. Okay, so they find a March of Otherworldly Light. They have to exile a card. But if we ever find... So we're live for second Vivi. Boomerang Basics for this High Noon is also very good. Oh, Temporary Lockdown. Oh, but it hits their own High Noon. Very interesting deck building from our opponent. Okay, we find another Vivi. We're going to draw 3 first. Okay, we find a land. Let's just keep rebuilding our hand. And just go Spire Bluff Canal tapped this turn. This way we can go Vivi with 3 mana open next turn. Okay, so they'll have to Fairy. They get to draw a card. They'll untap 2 lands. They have 3 mana. Do they have a way to stop this Vivi? No More Lies is very good for them here, because it would force us to tap our 3 lands. But we're going to cast a Vivi. They don't have any responses. Okay. Now we can Storm Chasers. Now we can add blue. We'll tap Otter. Return Springleaf Drum, return Storm Chasers. Let's just make blue, blue, blue. Cast Storm Chasers. Cast... No, let's use this Abandon Attachments to draw 2, I think. Draw 2, we hit double lands, and we pass. Opponents at 4, they can tuck with Teferi. No, they decide to draw. What does that mean? They have removal spell for Vivi? Let's see what they have here. Okay, they have Farewell. Our Storm Chasers are still on the battlefield. We hit another land. I think we needed a spell there to go. Yeah. We need no boomerang basics in the top 31 cards of our deck is brutal. Does this have under it? A Storm Chasers, Gran. So they get Kahira. They play Kahira. They have 4 lands untapped. Yeah, we need to hit. And another land. 20 land deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we had half our lands. I guess we were halfway through the deck, so that makes sense. Spell Pierce is in. And let's cut. We know they're on a bunch of high noons, so we will leave this in. Can just trim here, trim here, trim here. Brutal that we are against the opponent that did not read the patch notes and did not read the BNR, still playing a anti-Izzet deck. 60 cards, main deck, high noon. I'm curious if, even with this ban, are people still going to be playing all of these super specific cards that are only good against Izzet? If that's the case, maybe they didn't go far enough with the Corey Steelcutter ban. Only time will tell. That's something that I want to be paying attention to today is what are the control decks playing? What do they think is going to be good? All right, we have Gran. We actually have a Boomerang Basics this time. Play Gran. They surveil to the top. All right, yeah, being on triple accumulated wisdom is great in this matchup. Let's just get an otter down. Return this. We'll discard one of these accumulate wisdoms. Finding an abandoned attachments would be nice here, so we can use 2 of these draw 3s. So we just find a Gran, likely going to discard that to the loot here. Yeah. Let's discard Gran, go to damage. And now we have a cool line here where we can Storm Chasers. And we can Boomerang Storm Chasers, which now turns on our accumulate wisdoms. We will Spell Pierce here. So notably, we did miss out on 3 damage by not doing that before combat. We'll see if that ends up mattering. Do they have temporary lockdown? No temporary lockdown. So yeah, let's cast some of our draw 3s before combat here. Enters, choose 1, put a 1/1 counter, exile target player's graveyard. Man, that is a absolutely fantastic card for them to have here. So we will respond. So we'll get to draw 3 here. Let's cast this. Cycle a land away. And we don't find... Oh, should have... Okay, so they target us. That's fine. I mean, obviously I don't love this. We will take... Just grab another abandon attachments, start refilling the graveyard. We're fine with trading for Grand here and making them take 8. If we cast Storm Shield... No, I want to leave up Spell Pierce. Springleaf Drum's a little bit dead at this point. We just need as much action as possible. All right, and they just chump block. Does that mean they have Supreme Verdict? Likely Supreme Verdict here. Yep. That's why we didn't play more into it. So now we have a good follow-up of... We have instant in the graveyard. And now we can return this. Put a sorcery in the graveyard. Yeah, let's cash in this flow state while they're tapped out. And we'll leave up this Spell Pierce again. We are a little bit making it pretty obvious we have this Spell Pierce, but it does make them respect it. All right, so we can have 6 mana this turn. Let's make another Otter. Let's play Gran and pass, and then we can abandon attachments and set up for a bigger next turn. We'll attack. We will Spell Pierce a Wandering Emperor. Play a tap land and we'll pass. Consult the star charts. We will Spell Pierce. We can't Spell Pierce most of their removal at this point, so we'll just cash in that 1-for-1 when we can. Let's discard one of these. This town ain't big enough. Of course, we go straight into more lands. All right, drawing double flow state here is nice. They likely have another one of those cats. There's not much we can do about it, so let's cast a flow state. Wow, no cat. Let's go Boomerang Basics, Mox Amber. We just want a bunch of prowess triggers this turn. We're going to be pushing for lethal. Let's go Springleaf Drum, Flow State. Cast another Flow State. Finding the 3rd Spell Pierce would be nice. Let's go Vivi, Springleaf Drum. Let's play Steam Vents and play Vivi. This forces something from them. Cast Springleaf Drum. Okay, I mean, if they just have nothing here, then we'll kill them with Vivi. What a cool... Actually... So, like, this being 0 mana with Gran is so sick. We'll return Mox Amber. We're going to kill them with just the Vivi this turn. We have enough mana and triggers. So it looks like they have a Get Lost. They did think... Okay, and they pack it in. Very cool turn from our deck there. Are we changing anything for game 3? I don't think so. We don't have any way to stop that cat, so we just have to power through it. We'll see. So it looks like they are changing their sideboard plan after game two. Potentially, they are taking out the cat, bringing back in more removal. Potentially, I'm not sure what they could be changing for game three. We'll have to see. Let's see a good seven, please. Yeah, this. I'll count this as a good seven. All right, that was a great draw. All right, they have the high noon. Don't love that. Punished a little bit by casting the Grand now. We will discard. It's going to be hard for us to cast a lot of these spells. So let's just start discarding lessons. Get another lesson into the graveyard. They're thinking about countering here. They choose not to. We will take a land. All right. We're good to go on lands. Let's just attack again. If we draw a lesson here, it's really crazy. We do not. Just another land. We'll discard it. And we will just cast a flow state. Because of the high noon, if they have a counter spell, we can't counter back. They let it resolve. Okay. So this flow state is turned on. Because the flow state is turned on, I think we'll take this second flow state here. They get to resolve something here. Let's see what it is. Just a march on Grand. That is totally okay. They pass. Let's just play Verge and cast another flow state. They have a No More Lies. All right. We don't get... They just put Kahira into their hand. All right. Let's pass. Potentially just 5 mana. This town ain't big enough-ing on their turn. All right, they play Kahira, so now we get to... it's kind of awkward from them to be playing. So now we get to return this to their hand, and we can cast Vivi. We can Spell Pierce a No More Lies here. Yeah, we'll Spell Pierce that. Vivi resolves. We don't have any card draw to go with him. So we will unfortunately just have to pass. We do have Spell Pierce up if they cast it to... Now we can't Spell Pierce to Fairy. Just a high noon. This is okay. We have an answer for this in hand. Let's attack. So they have the Wandering Emperor. They thought about it. We are not going to cast anything. So now they get to play Wandering Emperor on their turn. Just Kahira. Okay. That resolves. I think where this town ain't big enough. Well, no, they can respond. But if they respond by killing Vivi, I think that is a fine trade for us. But we don't have any card draw to go off, so let's just untap. All right. If I would have known we were going to draw that. That is a little bit brutal. Let's cast Mox Amber and pass. No attacks. Playing around Wandering Emperor with no attacks there. Alright, we will abandon attachments. See if this gets them to bite. Does not. We will discard Spell Pierce. They have too many lands at this point. Okay. We draw Storm Chasers so we can... This town ain't big enough. Return Mox Amber, return High Noon. Play Storm Chasers. Get back a flow state. I like that. The odds that they just have actually nothing here are pretty low, but we'll see if we get lucky. Okay, they have a Dovin's Veto. That makes sense. We're going to keep playing around Wandering Emperor. They just play a land. Let's, on their turn, attempt to do the same thing. So they have another... They don't have another counter spell. I don't know what their hand could be. Let's play this Mox Amber. Trigger Vivi. Alright. Just like all good turns, start off with a flow state. Do we find a Boomerang Basics? We do not. Okay, we will take... I think it's definitely Storm Chasers plus Grand Grand. Storm Chasers Grand Grand. Is it land Grand Grand? No, let's go Storm Chasers Grand Grand. Because now we can play Grand Grand. Okay, we will... There is a world we activate both of these Storm Chasers here. So let's discard second Mox Amber. Cast a flow state off of the blue mana. I mean, I'm just, at this point, assuming that our opponent doesn't have anything. Alright, we will... This town ain't big enough. We will return Springleaf Drum plus Mox Amber. Wow, crazy turn from us. I mean, I guess no... What? There's no way they have a kill spell now. It would make no sense for them to have waited this long. Alright, we will play Mox Amber. Play Springleaf Drum. Play Storm Chaser's Talent. Oh, should have tapped the Mox Amber for that. Sorry about that. Create an Otter. Tap Otter to make a blue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have exactly enough to level up, and then we'll have to activate our Vivi. So let's make like No, we can just make all blue. Now we'll make one red. Two red. So level up. Oh, so here comes the cat? No. We'll accumulate wisdom. Why does this cost? Oh my gosh. Should have taken flow state there. That's, oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't cost us. We'll take Mox Amber. Tap for blue. Cast the new Mox Amber. Keep the new Mox Amber. Cast a Storm Chasers. They have a No More Lies. I guess that makes sense. They have another No More Lies. They do not. Make an Otter. Now we can level up. We have a Sokka's in here, right? There's no Sokka's, so we can level up, get back. So if their last card is another No More Lies, 1, 2, 3, No More Lies costs 1. So they could counter a This Town, but they can counter anything we can get here because there are no Sokka. So we'll get a This Town. And is their last card exactly another No More Lies? If it was, they would have countered something earlier in the turn, I think. Okay. It is not. All right. How many? Someone count how many Vivi triggers that was this turn. Wow. 17, I'm assuming. Yeah, because we cast the Vivi this turn. Crazy turn from us. Okay. Against someone in Mythic this time. Also nice to beat blue-white control that was very dedicated to beating us. All right, so we can turn this on, but I'm still going to just boomerang this Mox Amber on turn 1. Work towards getting this accumulated wisdom. We will pass. Drawing a lot of lands here. Okay, Forest up the Beanstalk. Not sure what's going on over there. Let's just discard this Shivan Reef. All right, we need a Vivi. Vivi goes absolutely insane. Okay, so they get a land. That's fine. None of... They get a Boseiju? Okay, so we're against mono green. Devotion. So we are just... Okay, we find Vivi. We find a flow state. Can we... We'll have to discard... We're fine if they Boseiju this Springleaf Drum, right? Or do we just play one of these Mox Ambers? We're more fine if they... No, they can Boseiju this Mox Amber, or this Springleaf Drum. That's fine. Well, we'll see what they have. We can pretty likely win the game next turn. Land of War Elf, that's beatable. Interesting that they are... What could they be leaving up here? Not Collected Company. Okay, would really like to find... Let's just tap our Vivi here. Actually, let's... So we have a blue. We can make a second blue. Return, return. Trigger Vivi a bunch of times. We don't net any mana yet. Alternatively, we can just flow state. We'll have 1 mana left over. We can play Mox Amber, get a second mana. This has the highest upside if we hit a Boomerang Basics. Okay, we do find the Boomerang Basics, and we find an Accumulate Wisdom. So now we just get to go nuts. Tap our Vivi. Return the Mox Amber to our hand. Do they Boseiju? They do not. Now finding a Gran is probably the best. Let's make a blue here. Cast second Mox Amber. Keep the new Mox Amber. Tap for another blue. This town, the Springleaf Drum, and the Mox Amber. If they want to Boseiju, now is the turn. Now is when they should do it. They do not want to Boseiju. So we'll cast the Mox Amber again. And we will cast the Springleaf Drum again, make 8 mana. Just make all blue. Cast Accumulate Wisdom. Alright. Nothing. Looking for Boomerang Basics, looking for more. This town ain't big enough. Okay, we find a This Town Ain't Big Enough, and we find a Gran. Gran's huge here. She makes the Springleaf Drum cost 0 mana. Why? Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, sorry. Cancel this. Tap the Gran first. We'll just discard a land. Discard the Spirebluff Canal. Return these 2. Man, this deck is just insane. This deck is insane. Cast Mox Amber. Cast Springleaf Drum. Float a blue. Draw 3. Boomerang Basics the Mox Amber. This is turn 4, by the way. Okay. Now we can Mox Amber. We're starting to fizzle a little bit. Let's see if we can find... So this... Let's flow state first. We need a This Town Ain't Big Enough or a Boomerang. We find a Boomerang. Okay, abandon attachments. This is mana neutral because we can tap the Otter to the Springleaf Drum. Return the Mox Amber. Draw a card. Okay, This Town Ain't Big Enough is the winning card. Let's go. Sorry, undo that. Or no, we can tap this. Cast Storm Chasers. Well, now they could Boseiju. They need to Boseiju in response to this. They do not. Okay. They had an opportunity to stop us, but... Return these guys, and then cast them. Let's go. Nothing like turn 4, casting 22 non-creature spells with a Vivi in play. All right. Mono green devotion with elementals. We didn't even see enough of their deck to really know what to sideboard. Potentially Spell Pierce in. They're on a lot of creatures, though. Let's just run it back. I really don't know what our opponent could be doing. Let's get a better idea of what's going on in their deck before we make any drastic sideboarding decisions. All right, great hand. Wow, yeah, we have super good hand. We get to go Grand, Mox Amber, Storm Chasers. They have a dork this time, so potentially a much faster start from them. Play Mox Amber, play Storm Chasers. Now the rest of our hand is not doing anything. We need to find any of our cantrips. We can follow up with turn 2 Vivi, but then nothing to cast with it. But mono green, not known for its removal. Okay, Vibrance gets a Castle Garenbrig this time. Yeah, well, we are casting Vivi and passing and hoping that we draw some non-creature spells. Interesting. Was not... Now that we know that they're playing that, we can play around that a little bit. All right, Boomerang Basics is a good find. Can start to... All right, nice. We are at just one lesson. Let's go abandon attachments, discard second Grand. Or is it land? Yeah, let's discard land. It's close. All right, glad we discarded the second land. Play the Mox Amber again. Flow state. Hopefully find another Vivi. We find another Vivi. We find a Boomerang Basics. That's great. We can get in for 5. If they want to trade all of their stuff, we're okay with that. Hornet Queen. All right. Nykthos. This is not able to be activated, so we are going to see how many spells we can cast this turn. So we have the Vivi. Play a new Mox Amber. Keep the new one. Really need to... We need any instant or sorcery off of this is what we need here. Nah, Steam Vents wasn't it. Okay. So now we can play Mox Amber. Now we are just at level up, get back flow state. Because we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so if we get... Well, yeah, no. Get back flow state. Tap this, plus our 3 from Vivi. Get back flow state. Yeah, fizzling a little bit here. Gonna be hard for us to cast 13 more spells this turn. Yeah, and with this... Okay, so we're done for this turn. We're not just dead, though. Oh, wow. All right. Get these lands out of the way. And... All right, no attacks. We're winning with Vivi this game. They have another fight spell. Was hoping to dodge second fights. Well, their devotion to green is 6. They don't have another fight spell. Okay. What does that mean? Do they have anything? They didn't attack. Let's just play this. Level up, get back flow state. Tap here. Tap the Mox Amber. Tap, tap. Level this up. Is there any argument for Boomerang basics here? No. We just want the card advantage. Get flow state back. Hopefully we hit some non-lands with this. All right. That's it. Now we can go, this town ain't big enough, return Mox Amber, return Springleaf Drum, and it doesn't look like they have anything, so I think we've got the win here. Mox Amber, Springleaf Drum. We get to do the cool synergy of Springleaf Drum tapping Grand Grand to draw and discard a card. We'll discard a land. Have we played a land this turn? Yes. Let's 1 mana draw 3. All right. That was not the best 1 mana draw 3. Two Springleaf Drums. We have officially fizzled. These are both on level 2. And our opponent concedes. We can keep if we don't draw any more lands. And let's not do anything too silly. They go Swamp. All right, we are against Witch's Oven. Now we'll try and turn this flow state on. This turn. All right, just a second flow state. So now we can... Let's play the Mox Amber. Play 1 flow state. Get the Boomerang basics. And then I think we're attacking with Grand Grand. We're going to discard a land here. We just need action. And we return, get Mox Amber back. But we can't cast anything. So we'll just pass. If Grand Grand lives, again, we can go kind of crazy next turn. Looks like Grand Grand will live. Just a Badgermole Cub from them. All right, we draw... So we're good in the lands department. Let's Boomerang. Oh, okay, that's really good. So now we can turn Grand Grand on to 1 mana draw 3. Cast another Boomerang. And this turns our Grand Grand on. So let's cast this Mox Amber. Would really wish we had a Vivi. We have a Vivi. So let's cast Vivi. And this, we still have a land drop this turn, right? No, this is our turn 3. Let's Springleaf Drum. This lets us tap Grand Grand without having to suicide it into the Badgermole Cub. We'll discard a tap land. Let's fire this flow state off. See if we get to go crazy with it. All right, we find a This Town Ain't Big Enough and another Accumulate Wisdom. Wow, so we actually can go kind of crazy here. So let's play second Mox Amber. Keep the new Mox Amber. Use this to return these two. Cast the Mox Amber again. Cast the Springleaf Drum. This time we can tap Vivi to make mana. But first we'll just use this to draw 3. We'll see if we keep the chain going. Oh. Okay. Make a blue. Let's tap Vivi. And we haven't activated Vivi yet this turn. So return these two. Yeah, okay. We haven't Yeah, okay. We win. We should win this turn. Go Mamber. Play Springleaf Drum. Now we can tap the Mox Amber for new Gran Gran. Keep new Gran Gran. Springleaf Drum. Make a mana. Okay, just discard a land. Now we have 1 mana left, so we can this town, cast these again, and then we have a flow state to hopefully hit something. They're down to 6. Any card draw here is insane. We find in a bat. Okay, that's an Accumulate Wisdom. Now we just make a ton of blue, draw 3. I guess we could technically hit only lands off of this. Let's go! That's insane. Oh my gosh, turn 3. And we didn't even start the turn with Vivi. Oh wow, what a turn. Let's go. Okay, man, this deck is just insane. Oh, this deck is insane. Okay. Mono green? Or no, Witch's Oven. Jund with Witch's Oven? What are we boarding in? A Braid kills... Man, let's bring in 2 Abrades. They're probably on Thoughtseize. So I didn't even look at what they were doing. I was just too excited with how crazy we were going. We can just maybe leave this in because this can answer anything they have. Maybe trim 1 Abandoned Attachments, 1 Mox Amber. Springleaf Drum is probably worse than Mox Amber. Run it like that. Okay. Man, this deck is crazy. What a turn. This 1 drop. We have Springleaf Drum for a turn 2 Vivi, I think. So yeah, play this. No, we don't get a turn 2 Vivi, but this is good. We have a kill spell for a Witch's Oven. They're on a mulligan to 6. Okay, so it is Golgari. Actually pay attention to what they're doing this time. Play Storm Chasers, pass. So cool that Springleaf Drum is a synergize. This deck has such cool synergies that the Springleaf Drum makes this Otter tap for mana. So we would like to find an island at some point to turn this stuff on. Let's just play Springleaf Drum and pass. Leave up a Braid, leave up Accumulate Wisdom. No attacks. See what their follow-up is. They have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana from them this turn. You see what their follow-up is. First is a Gilded Goose, so that's 1 mana positive. Let's see what their follow-up is. Okay, so they have Yarga, Yugra. They have part of their combo. Is it just... Alright, so they are just passing. This doesn't interact with us at all, right? No, this doesn't. We have lands, so we are going to take the non-land. Alright, so we play Vivi this turn. We don't have any zeros and ways to reduce our stuff. So just a value Vivi, but I think that's still worth it to play. Well, actually, we can't cast anything. after it comes down, because we play land, that's just 3 mana, we have 1 left over. So maybe we cast this flow state first, wait 1 turn on the Vivi. I don't think it may set up a little bit more. Let's take this abandon attachments. And yeah, just same thing. Leave up some interaction. Whenever food is put, so they can potentially buff this up to a 10. But they're not. They're just doing 6 to us. All right. They pass. Let's abandon attachments. It's probably Shivan Reef or a Braid. Honestly, a Braid, it doesn't kill this. Could regret this, but I'm going to discard the Abrade. Let me know what you would have done. All right. Now we are finally drawing some spells that do something. Let's go Vivi. Do they have a removal spell? That is... So if they have removal spell, we want to tap Vivi to this. So let's play around them having a removal spell. Let's return this Springleaf Drum. Looks like they do. No, just a Witherbloom Charm. Okay. That is really... Not really good. Like, we're not just dead, but... This doesn't do anything. So yeah, we'll just draw 3 here. This doesn't fight anything, right? I never remember what this thing does. No attacks. Do they draw removal spell? Fatal Push for... our Otter, and they can make... Oh, can they kill us here? Can they make... They can put us to... No, we're dead. Okay. Wow. Good. Would a Braid have killed the cub? Yeah, it could have killed the cub there, and it would have ended up saving us. I was thinking the land was pretty valuable there because we weren't guaranteed to draw another one, and we really wanted the 5th mana to be able to cast Vivi plus another spell that turn. It was close. It was a little bit greedy discarding the Abrade. It could have been wrong. I don't think it ended up mattering with them top decking the Fatal Push for our Otter there. Now that we've seen a little bit more of their deck, I don't think we're going to bring in Scorching Shot. They are on a lot of the 1-mana dorks. So we can potentially bring in a Pyroclasm. And yeah, the push from the top was right in time. Yeah, I think we beat most other top decks, but we drew really well in the first game, so I'm not going to say too much after how crazy we drew in game 1. Let's trade the Abrades for the Pyroclasm. Against this deck, I think it's pretty easy for us to combo. And so I don't want to trim too many combo pieces. And we have both Pyroclasms in our hand. We have a turn 1 Gran. This is pretty hard for them to kill, and this can get rid of these Pyroclasms, so we're going to keep this. We have Vivi, mostly looking for a card draw in this hand, our abandoned attachments and our flow states. Wow. Are they using this for discard, or do they have a small lesson package? I don't know what this means. Okay. Let's just attack with Grand and see if they want to trade. Okay. We're going to discard 4th land here. They trade. We'll see what they're planning to do with this learn. It's an additional casting move. Okay, all creatures get -2. Oh, we don't care about this at all. Okay. Even though we know they have this, we can still play out this Storm Chaser's talent. Yeah, it's funny. We brought in our 2 damage removal sweepers, and they're lessening for 2 damage removal sweepers. I kind of a strange one from them. Before we do anything with the boomerang basics, let's attack first. We're missing a few prowess triggers. Oh my gosh, we're drawing a ton of lands, but we can discard a Pyroclasm here. What rank is this? This is on the ladder. I'm Mythic. Our opponent is Diamond. I mean, we all do mistakes, but yeah, kind of funny. Yeah, they could think that we're on a more traditional Is It Prowess build, and that's why they played that way. All right. So if their turn is just cast this, we have kind of a funny play here. We could just leave up this town ain't big enough and return Gran. I kind of like that. Cash grab. Mill 4 cards, put a permanent. If you control a squirrel. Okay, so just mill 4. So they have Unlicensed Hearse. That's good to know about. Oh, and they get it. Got it. I've been out here for a while. So remember the No, so I mean, I'm not sure. Did you realize that yesterday they banned Corey Steelcutter? So there really isn't a like stock list, but it's almost certainly not what I'm on right now. This is kind of a brew that I was thinking about playing before the ban, but because I wasn't running Corey in it before, and yeah, it probably needed to go. Do we care about this Unlicensed Hearse? So they can... It makes it a little bit annoying for Gran here, but I don't think it's enough to return Gran. So we are going to just get 1 Vivi trigger this turn. But Vivi doesn't die to this, and this sets us up for a pretty decent turn next turn. And no attacks here. They do get to clear out our graveyard. This Unlicensed Hearse is pretty annoying. Yeah, we've had some Yeah, killing our own Gran there feels pretty bad. We'll see if they sweep this turn. Because they have second Boseiju. A little... Because they have another Badger Mole Cub. We might be Pyroclasming next turn if... Because they have 6 mana. Wow, they trigger Revolt with Legend Rule on Boseiju. Wow, okay. So how does this read again? Other food. So this is just a 6/6. And everything else is if... Oh, wow. So if we... All right. Well... So we can return this... Okay, we have kind of a cool play here. So we can return Yarga plus Storm Chasers. And then I want to cast this. So we go Boomerang Basics. We have 3 mana left. We cast Storm Chasers. No, we don't have enough mana. So I think we're going to have to kill our otters here. But this town ain't big enough. Send Yarga plus Storm Chasers back to our hand. Oh, no. Sorry. Our otters will live here. So return. We'll sacrifice Gran because she doesn't survive the Pyroclasm. So we return these. Now we get to Pyroclasm away their Badgermole cubs. Reset these so they can't... With the Badgermole cubs dead, they can't cast this Yarga next turn. All right, play tap land. They do get to just wipe the board next turn if they want to. But that was a really good turn from us. All right, so they just find a land. They still don't have enough for the cat. So they're just going to kill our 2 otters. But we have a good follow-up of Storm Chasers into Boomerang Basics. Just a Springleaf Drum. Yeah, we can't level this up because they just get to respond and exile whatever we target. Would love to find any card draw here. So we find and accumulate wisdom. The gods, yes. The creatures were dying that turn. All right. So we can just cast another Storm Chasers and save. We have not played a land this turn. Feels a little bit bad to cast this and not get the value from the prowess triggers. We can pass and see what they do. We're almost certainly not taking a land this turn. They get to exile probably Boomerang Basics and this town. Yep. Dodging a land here is good. Okay, traverse the Uvenwald. They have Delirium. Are they getting a creature or a land? After a super one-sided game 1, these 2 sideboard games have been a lot closer. They're looking... How long they're tanking is probably good for us. We have 2 spell casts. Are we casting this in the end step? We'll see what they get first. They get a Badgermole. And they... So this is bad to cast if we top deck exactly Vivi, because it's 1 less spell. But other than that, if we just draw more cantrips, we're going to wish that we used our mana effectively. Okay, we don't draw Vivi, so taking a flow state here is nice. There's not really... Okay, so they have to respond to this flow state. See if they do. They realize they need to respond to this. All right. I don't think there's a way we can go for lethal by returning the Badgermole Cub or the Blooming Marsh. So we'd have to cast, yeah, there's no way. So we're taking Boomerang Basics here and just make another Otter. And then these will be 4 power, 5 power, so we can force them to chump with the Blooming Marsh, which puts them in a position where they have to top deck a land again. So unlicensed hearses ended up being really annoying. Okay, we draw Vivi, but not enough mana to cast anything after we play him. I think the right play is to cast Vivi. They don't have any removal. We can attack here. We're fine with a we're fine with a double block here. Trading for land Badgermole Cub. So they're going to chump with the Blooming Marsh. We put them to 6. We cast Vivi and we have 2 non-creature spells to trigger next turn. Okay, so they find Yarga. But this doesn't necessarily do anything. Oh, we find Flow State. Okay. That should be the win. There's no way, because we'll be able to attack here. We cast 3. Yeah, okay, that's the win. We have 3 non-creature spells. That puts them to 3. These will all be 3 power. All right, super close match. And ended with Vivi, as matches with this deck usually do. Yeah, they don't have any lands here that can surprise us. Make sure we tap the Summoning Sick Otter. Cast this Flow State. It's a sad Flow State, but just casting it is going to be enough. Wow, and exactly lethal. I mean, it doesn't matter what we take here. Yeah, I'm not missing anything, right? Oh, do they have enough mana to sacrifice this? No. All right, yeah. Oh man, thanks for the follow. All right, we have. We'll play the Springleaf Drum on turn 1. I think after the bans yesterday, Golgari midrange is one of the 2 best decks in the format. I think you build appropriately to be able to beat Greasefang, and you should have no problems. There, you get to cut some of the awkward culling rituals now that Izzet deck should be on the decline. But yeah, I think Golgari players are super happy with where the format's at right now. Have you played? Yeah, cool time to come back. The new card that the Golgari players are on is the new Delian from Strixhaven. Have you seen that Planeswalker yet? Oh, this only returns non-lands. All right, let's start. Oh, stopped at Final Fantasy. Yeah, and with how many sets come out now, it can be a little rough keeping up with everything. This is a synergy that I've been really enjoying lately, is Springleaf Drum to tap Gran, and then that triggers her ability to draw and discard. Looks like we're against Golgari here, so we'll see how this build of Izzet does. We have 1 lesson in the graveyard. What are we discarding here? It could just be 4th land. I do want to... No, let's discard 2nd Gran. Let's return the Springleaf Drum, see what we draw here. Another Abandon Attachments. Let's just pass to them. MTG went a bit sour after that. Used to play Standard, but I just can't anymore. Modern back in the day was cool. Shifted to playing Pioneer, but the meta feels super stale at times. Yeah, So I stopped playing. Oh man, they get one of our lessons here. I was playing a ton of Modern pretty much from 2018, 2019. Whenever Five Color Humans was the best deck in the format. I was in college at the time, and that was like the first deck that I finally put together, like the first tier 1 deck. And I played up until the Lord of the Rings set came out. I just got busy with life, and okay, really good hits here. Oh, okay, we get to go crazy here. All right, let's go. So if you didn't see game 1 in the first in that last match, this is what our deck is trying to do here. So we have Vivi, and we have these 0 mana artifacts that we can tap to make mana and then return to our hand with This Town Ain't Big Enough and Boomerang Basics. And it generates mana with Vivi as we go through these loops. So we will Boomerang Basics back the Springleaf Drum now. So for 1 mana, we put a trigger onto Vivi, and now we get to trigger Vivi again. This time we will make a blue, tap Grand, get the draw here. We already played a land this turn, so we will discard this land. Now we can This Town Ain't Big Enough. Okay, oh, we don't want to return Grand because then this will cost a mana. Let's draw 3 first. We really want to find our Mox Amber. We don't find a Mox Amber. So we will just do the same thing here. Again, looking. We don't have a creature to tap. So we are going to have to activate our Vivi a little bit earlier. Now we find the Mox Amber, but we ran out of card draw. So we did whiff here quite a bit. I don't think we have enough to kill them. So this is, they're at 14, 13, and each one of these is 3 spell casts. And that puts them to 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that puts them to 4. All right, we will just pass and leave up This Town Ain't Big Enough to protect our Vivi. I don't think I was missing anything there. So they're going to go for the Throat Vivi. We will return Vivi, return Graveyard Trespasser, discard Spirebluff Canal. Have to go for a while due to work stuff, BRB. Yeah, man, thanks for stopping by, and it was really, really fun chatting with you. Don't have too much fun doing the work. We'll talk to you later. All right, so we draw Vivi here. They're at 12. They do get to target our hand a little bit with this Liliana. I'm going to do the same thing this turn. Cast Vivi. Hope it survives for a turn. Leave this Steam Vents in hand to discard. Well, actually, we can... Let's play Steam Vents for next turn. And plan to bring back Springleaf Drum. Oh, this... I did not think this through. Wow, I did not think this through at all. Okay, so return. Yeah, this was kind of silly. I wanted to be able to bring back the Springleaf Drum. So if we return Liliana and they... No, we're not doing that because then they get to play Liliana again. I think we just return Springleaf Drum plus Mox Amber. Oh, this is... Auto Tapper might be the death of us here. Yeah, potentially. If they have another targeted removal spell here, that's pretty bad. Man, bummer that our combo turn there, we didn't find any more card draw. All right, they exile a Grand. All right, we just find another Mox Amber. Ugh. Yeah, this is... I think we're getting outgrinded. So we can... We have enough to return... two of their creatures, but that's not enough to... Not enough to kill this Liliana, and they can minus the Liliana next turn. So I think we are going to... Oh, this... And this can't target the Restless Cottage. Yeah, I think we might have fizzled this game. Let's go... Return, and then... Yeah, discard this Mox Amber. Will force them to chump with the Restless Cottage, but... Yeah, I'm not sure. We lose our Vivi here. They play Graveyard Trespasser again. We'll take a draw step, but I think we have gotten outgrinded. Accumulate Wisdom is live off the top. And another land. All right, we'll go ahead and pack it in, go to game 2. We don't need to die to a bunch of green beaters. All right, against Golgari, let's bring in 2 Spell Pierces. Trim on some of the combo only cards. I think Springleaf Drum is just worse than Mox Amber, so we can trim 2 of those. And let's click submit. I think... Yeah, I'm not sure we played the combo turn wrong. We just didn't draw any non-creature spells. Potentially it could have been right to go all in and put them to 4. But I'm not sure. They mulligan. If this was a 2-lander, I would leave the Spell Pierce up on turn 1. But with only having 1 land, we need to get this Grand down. Do they have Thoughtseize? Or is it just Mana Dork? They have Thoughtseize. Okay. They get to see our really suspicious hand. Yeah, please take that Abandon Attachments, opponent. You can take that. They take the Spell Pierce. All right, we need to attack, and we hit a land, right? Oh, we do. All right. We're in business. Against Golgari, just getting Accumulate Wisdom turned on as fast as possible is what I've found the best way to beat them. All right, they have a Go for the Throat. That's fine. let's just discard this Springleaf Drum. We need to worry about beating them through card advantage. We can play a Springleaf Drum. That is the last Springleaf Drum in our deck, notably, because we boarded 2 of them out, and all right, and that is the second one. All right, we'll keep Flow State. We're just looking for cards here. A Boomerang Basics would be nice to turn this on. Don't love this May. Find a Storm Chaser's Talent. Yeah, we're going to take a ton of damage this turn. And then we'll instant speed another Accumulate Wisdom. They have a Badger Mole Cub. Okay, so seeing how they sideboarded, we'll definitely be bringing in Pyroclasms for game number 3, assuming we get there. No blocks. Leave our mana guy alive. Okay, we're going to take another 2. So they didn't attack. They probably have a Go for the Throat up. So let's play Grand, reduce this to just 1 mana. So now we can tap this. And they're going to Go for the Throat. Or, okay, so they're going to Fatal Push. They can take 2. Now we will return my return Springleaf Drum, return Storm Chasers. Let's return Springleaf Drum. If we draw Vivi, it just goes crazy. So we take another 2. We're mostly just looking for Vivi. And do we save Grand, actually? So we can return... I actually kind of like save Grand, bring back Storm Chasers. All right. Now we get to loot. We will loot away second Grand. Now we can play this, play Grand again. Play Springleaf Drum. Man, this deck is so cool when it gets to do its thing. Make a blue. Okay, we find Vivi. That'll be great for next turn. Now, let's discard... I really want... No, second Storm Chasers is good enough to be able to level it up. Is it just... It's Abandon Attachments. We don't have anything we want to discard. Now we'll Accumulate Wisdom with the blue mana that we got. Okay, draw 3. We haven't played a land yet this turn. I don't think we're too scared of Culling Ritual. So let's... One more Storm Chasers. Okay, and they concede. All right, game 3. Wow, very good turn from us. I think saving the Grands there was the right play. And it was close. I'm glad we did it. She just makes so much mana by being on the battlefield. Now that we saw their 2 toughness creatures, let's go Pyroclasms in, Spell Pierces out. There is a little bit of contention with Pyroclasm and Grand, but I think that that's okay. Oh, man, Springleaf Drum looked great. The last Springleaf Drum looked insane. Maybe we can trim 1 Mox Amber. Let me know how you would sideboard. I mean, I think I'm the only one that's playing this deck, but sideboarding is a little bit tough with it. We can't cut too many things because we are such a synergy focused deck. All right, this is a good hand. We have okay, we do have blue mana. It's painful blue mana, but this hand is somewhat Thoughtseize proof. Oh, it's duress proof. We'll see if they have a 1 mana removal spell for Gran here. They take Storm Chasers. This does abandon some of our bounce spells, and they do have 1 mana removal spell to follow up the 1 mana Hand Hate spell, plus another Thoughtseize. All right, very good opening from them. We'll see what their follow-up is. Do they have the Trespass? They do. Wow, okay. Let's see what we draw. We need a... All right, that is... It's not nothing. It's not great. We'll cast it. I mean, it's just Vivi. And we'll pass. We want to keep this from flipping. They have our graveyard on lock. Any of our artifacts that make mana are the best. Do they have anything else? They have a Liliana. Ooh. Okay. We're going to discard a land here. Okay, we draw land. Yeah. We're pretty cooked. We'll hold this land. Nah, let's play land. We'll discard the this town ain't big enough. But this gets to flip and really lock our graveyards down. We're going to have to draw. Super, super good off of... We need a Mox Amber off the top. That's the spark notes of this turn. So they plus Liliana. We will discard that this town ain't big enough. Should have played this goose before. We draw another land. I guess we technically can take one more draw. Oh, they... I always forget how night and day works. Yeah, they should have cast that goose. All right, so they plus Liliana here. We'll discard Island. They discard Shieldred. What are they doing? Why did they not... So we get... All right, we get another draw. Why are they not playing the Shieldred and... Oh, they just get to Ultimate Liliana here. So they put us to 4. Are they plussing? Okay, they're plussing Liliana. We discard land again. Yeah, they're just allergic to playing things before plussing Liliana. Okay, that is it is a start. It makes it so we have an extra creature to not just die to the Liliana. All right, come on, Mox Amber off the top here. Come on, Mox Amber off the top. Mox Amber, Mox Amber. No. No. Okay. Okay, so they get to Ultimate Liliana here. We have nothing in the graveyard. We can block the Graveyard Trespasser at least. We'll see what they do here. We can, I mean, we won't plan for next. Okay, so they're going to ultimate us. We'll see what their piles are. They can force us to sack all our lands here by putting creatures in one pile and lands in the other. They're not going to do that. So we just take... Oh, no. So they drew removal spell here? No, just land. Oh, but this turns into a 4/4. All right. All right, this hand is terrible. This hand, it's the same hand, but on 5 we'll keep it, I guess. Please do not Thoughtseize us. One time can we... Okay, Plains. Giant Killer. Magic gods, please. So is this a mono white aggro list or like a Boros Convoke? Oh, mono white humans. Awesome. Like, I mean, not awesome that we might be getting smoked here, but I love humans, so humans probably not a lot of removal for Vivi. We'll see what their follow-up is. What is... Ah, this is the warp. When this enters, get a basic Plains or a creature with mana value 1. Put it into the hand. So they get a Warden of the Inner Sky. Okay, so they can't activate this. We are dead in 2 turns, it looks like. And with our... They top. That's not good for us. We just draw another Storm Chasers. Well, we're going to cast Vivi and see if it lives. We're not even, like, close to winning at all. What is... they've got something. I don't know what they could have, but we just get way too blown out there. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry, Gran. Okay. Steam Fence. Storm Chasers. Second Gran. Land and Pass. So they can cast this again. This doesn't kill us. Trying to dodge Thalia here. I doubt they're playing Archon of Emeria in their humans deck. So biggest dodge is Thalia. We'll block in a way that keeps us alive and keeps Vivi and Gran alive. They're hovering over Vivi right now, potentially just reading it. If they had a removal spell, I think they would have snapped it off. Okay, these have ward. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They would need... None of this gives flash. No. Okay. No blocks. We go to 2. We need... Oh, Arena. Hello. Arena crashes, so we will... Wow, and everything crashed. Sorry about this guy. It crashed my Epic Games launcher too. Okay. Arena is back. Every time Arena crashes, which recently has been a lot, it always does this crazy, like, Phyrexian script. I'm assuming that's on purpose. Are we on our turn? Did we. Okay, we drew a land. This doesn't do anything. They played Adeline. Were it two, they have. We should not have played that land. That's my bad. It doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. All right. Mono white humans, pyroclasms in trim some of the random clunky combo pieces that are bad against Thalia. And we cross our fingers that we draw an instant or a sorcery in game number 2. Because in game number 1, we saw no instants, no sorceries. Okay. Yeah, see, look at this Phyrexian text. Is this my computer or is this intentional on Wizard's end? I'm not sure. It I think it looks really cool. I only see it when Arena crashes and then I reload the game, and for the rest of like that session it's always this like Phyrexian crazy looking like description. Yeah, it's almost got to be intentional. They are likely bringing in rule of law effects. This version of the deck is better against those because we have the 8 bounce effects. All right, we drew instants and sorceries. Let's go. And a pyroclasm. We get to do something cool here. We can abandon attachments. All right, voice of victory. I mean, that has 3 toughness. That's annoying, but oh my gosh. I cannot read. All right, sorry about that. Oh, wow. That's a big misplay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry, chat. We might lose because of that. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. They have Athalia's lieutenant. Land off the top and we're fine. Thank goodness this doesn't make humans. Okay, we draw the land. They're on a 2-lander too. So we can go Vivi. We're going to trigger Vivi a lot of times this turn. Play the Mox Amber. We've done this loop a lot of times. Play the Mox Amber again. Return the Mox Amber. All right, we draw another Mox Amber here. Let's just make as much mana as we can. So play Mox Amber. Keep the new Mox Amber. Let's go abandon attachments. Wow, we actually awkwardly have all sorceries. So we'll go abandon attachments, discard steam vents. And that will turn our flow state on for post. All right. So now they're at 13. So we just want 1 red in the pool. We'll flow state. We're looking for. All right. Springleaf Drum is mana neutral right now. play Flow State. We need a Boomerang basic. All right, this town is also good. We'll take Grand Grand too, because now Grand Grand is mana neutral, but it's mana positive with... Yeah, so now we get to cast this for free. We get to tap Grand Grand. Draw will discard land. Now we get to this town ain't big enough. Return these, and we should be able to win from here. As long, well, I say that we don't have. We need to hit one more piece of card draw with this, either this abandon attachments or this Grand Grand tap. So let's tap this Grand Grand first, see what we draw. Okay, we draw Storm Chaser's Talent, but we've already activated Vivi this turn. Yes, we've already activated Vivi this turn. So I don't think we're killing them. So because we're not killing them, we don't really care about this Thalia's Lieutenant. Maybe we discard Pyroclasm. Nah, or we could discard Storm Chaser's Talent. So we discard Storm Chaser's Talent. We abandon attachment. So we got to decide, are we Pyroclasming this turn? I think the answer is no. Trading Grand Grand for Thalia's Lieutenant is not worth it. So we can discard Pyroclasm. So now we have the choice here. Do we want a Storm Chaser's Talent for next turn, or do we high roll with this abandon attachments? We play this. We're done for the turn. Let's try to high roll. Okay, now are we Pyroclasming and putting them to 5? I think keeping Grand Grand in play is more important. See if they have a removal spell for Vivi. If they do, it's pretty bad. We're actually punished pretty hard for discarding the Storm Chaser's Talent here. Okay. They have Portable Hole plus Dauntless Bodyguard. And they pass. All right, Boomerang basics. One, two, three, four. I mean, they have to chump. Any instant or sorcery should win here. No, see, not a land. Okay. So they have to chump with their Voice of Victory this turn. They can sacrifice the Dauntless Bodyguard to give the Thalia's Lieutenant indestructible. They didn't have a removal spell for Vivi last turn. We'll cast this Pyroclasm. They'll sack here, give this indestructible. Oh, so they do get to keep one of their creatures. They keep their... Oh my gosh, sorry. Dumb. All right, Thalia does not do anything here. And they're getting in. Oh, man. Really regretting discarding this Voice of Victory. But, oh, man. Come on. So we get to force a chump here. Not like this. They have Adeline. Come on, deck. Not another land. Come on. Any spell. Any card draw. Any card. Oh, okay, Flow State. Let's go. If we see 3 lands off this, I'm going to cry. Okay. Man, our deck was trying to make us lose. Woo, okay. We got there. Oh my gosh. Woo! Okay. Game 3. Surprised to see them bring in Portable Hull. I don't think we're bringing in a Braids to kill that. I think we're just staying on the Pyroclasm plan. Yeah, sounds good to me. Almost very punished there for not keeping the Storm Chasers talent. We got a little bit greedy there. Luckily, we were not punished. But if we kept the Storm Chasers there, we just get to untap and bring back one of our card draw spells. Definitely, I got greedy, and we know in the future to always get a Storm Chasers down. All right, game 3. We're on the draw. I don't love being on the draw against these decks that have a bunch of taxes effects in them. It can be really easy for us to fall behind if they go like 1 mana creature with 2 power into Thalia. Those starts can be really hard for these decks that are pretty instant and sorcery heavy to keep up with. All right, what do we have here? Oh man, this hand. Let me know what you would do. We're sending it back. All right, our opponent is on 2 mulligans. We're going to keep. We are going to put. It's close between Storm Chaser's talent and Abandon Attachments. I think we're going to put Storm Chasers to the bottom. It is mostly a... Oh, man. Okay, so they have Deafening Silence, but that's not, like... It's obviously annoying. I'm not going to, like... Oh, my... Okay. Land pass. All right, so they are on the 2-land Thalia hand. We're just going to play our Vivi. Just a Warden of the Inner Sky. Okay. We're not under any pressure. So let's just take our time here and cast a Flow State. We're really looking for a This Town Ain't Big Enough. Okay, we find that This Town Ain't Big Enough. No attacks here. Another Warden of the Inner Sky. They will activate. They scry to the bottom. All right. So we can Mox Amber here. Trigger Vivi. And then... Okay, so let me think about this for a second. We Boomerang Basics Deafening Silence. No. Right now, This Town Ain't Big Enough. No, because this is 6 mana with Thalia. We attack with Grand. We discard second Grand Grand. We go to damage. We play Mox Amber as our one non-creature spell, to mainly just to trigger Vivi and get something to target with this. We haven't played a land? Oh, we play a land. Why was... Oh, because we were in combat. Sorry. Okay, they get lost Vivi. This is their one non-creature spell for the turn. So we will... This town ain't big enough. We will return Deafening Silence. We will return Vivi. We will fizzle the Get Lost. We go to our turn. We cast Vivi for 3 mana. This town ain't big enough. So we're 100% casting Vivi. Now this town, return Mox Amber, return Thalia. Return Mox Amber, return Thalia, trigger Vivi. Now we get to cast Mox Amber, Boomerang Basics. We have not played a land this turn, notably. So, okay, another Vivi is not great here. So we'll just cast this Mox Amber, make 3 blue, 1 red. I don't know what we could use the red for, but we'll discard extra Vivi. We draw only Vivis here. Are we casting this Pyroclasm? No. No attacks. They get to get their lock pieces down again, but we just have a 5-power Vivi here. Activate only as a sorcery. Tough to not draw any card draw off of any of these. I think we are just sending Grand Gran in. She'll die. There's no way for us to cast Pyroclasm first. Okay, so they don't have 8 power. So yeah, we're just attacking with both here. Oh, man. Second main will Pyroclasm. We'll play a land, and now can a 6/9 Vivi beat Warden of the Inner Sky? They have Adeline. All right. Oh, man. We'll attack. I assume we're putting them to 3 here. No, they're going to chump. Really? Okay. That takes a lot of pressure off of us. I mean, at some point, we have to find an instant or sorcery, right? Okay, they have a Thalia's Lieutenant. They get in for 5 here. No, they're going to leave back. Oh my gosh, come on. Yeah, we have to loot. Come on. Come on. We have 2 abandoned attachments. What does this do? All right. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Sorry, guys. I cannot believe we're not dead. We have two more turns. We have one more turn. We need. I. Okay. Oh my. Let's go. All right, we're against another Izzet deck. Uh, Curious to see what our opponents are up to. All right, so it looks like Izzet prowess. We are going to go. We're going to assume that they are. All right, we draw this town ain't big enough. What are we discarding here? I think second flow state makes a lot of sense. So that way, any instant turns our next flow state on. We can go return Grand, return Emberheart doesn't make any sense. Potentially should not have attacked here and used the Springleaf Drum. Yeah, potential misplay. Still not 100% used to the lines in this deck. That turn we could have played Springleaf Drum and then used this town ain't big enough to return Springleaf Drum plus return Emberheart. So they are going to boomerang basics. I'm going to trigger Emberheart Paladin again. All right, this is okay. We'll take 4. I probably... yeah, yikes. Potentially misplayed. Yeah. Let's just pass. So Mox Amber is a pretty good find here. Let's wait one turn on Vivi. So let's play Springleaf Drum. Activate Grand here. We find a flow state. We're just discarding second Grand now. Let's go. This town ain't big enough. Bounce Springleaf Drum, bounce token. All right, forcing them to cast a spell on their turn is nice. I don't love this. We lose a Vivi trigger this way, but oh, nice. We don't need another Mox Amber. Let's just take double Boomerang basics. That will let us have the strongest turn next turn. So we can go Vivi, Boomerang. We're going to take a lot of damage this turn. As long as we don't die, we'll have a pretty good turn next turn, I think. All right, so a little bit verged. We'll see. So they would need 6. 6 instants or sorceries kills us. They just have a flow state. If they tap out here, they might just die. They probably don't know that, but all right, and they are tapping out here. Let's see if we kill them. We've done 19 damage in one turn multiple times today. So we're starting off with Vivi. And we're sitting up in the chair. Cast Mox Amber. Yeah, we get a lot of triggers here before we have to make a decision with our Grand here. So I am going to value activating Grand here to discard this abandon attachments. Or do we flow state first? No. Let's activate our Grand first. All right, we have a Storm Chaser's talent to get back some of this card draw. So we will go ahead and get our Grand online. So now our Springleaf Drums are 0 mana. And let's flow state first. Any of our bounce spells are just insane here. We don't find a bounce spell. We find a land plus Storm Chasers plus Mox Amber. We already have Mox Amber. Second Storm Chasers is probably... Actually, no. So we take Mox Amber. We take Mox Amber land. We have land, Springleaf Drum, Mox Amber, second Mox Amber. It's not enough mana to activate before turning on Vivi. But we have one Storm Chaser's talent. That's probably enough. Let's take the extra mana. Let me know what you would have done. It's close, I think. Float a blue. Play this Mox Amber. Keep the new one. Play Storm Chaser's talent. Now we can make a blue. Level up Storm Chasers. Oh my god, sorry, I should have paid attention to that auto tap. Wow, whoops, sorry about that. Get a this town. Make a blue. With the this town, return Mox Amber. Return Storm Chasers. Play Mox Amber. Make a blue. Play Storm Chasers. Can I... Okay, turn full control on. This will let me pay the mana, right? Okay. Resolve? Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I floated the first blue. Yeah, so we get that back. Yeah, and then we do the same thing. All right. Insane turn from us. I'm having so much fun with this deck. Some of the lines are a little bit confusing once we get into the post Vivi mana, making sure we actually kill them, but I'm having a ton of fun. All right, let's... Against Is It Prowess, I'm operating under the assumption that these decks are playing Slick Shot Show Off instead of Corey Steelcutter. So we're going to bring in Pyroclasm and just trim some of the fat and hope our Pyroclasms are good here. There we go. All right, we got Grands, we got Lessons, we got Springleaf Drums. They had a pretty fast start. Okay, so they're on another fast start. Let's Grand. They have removal spell for Grand this game. So this is something I've been talking about is... Are they on one land? Okay, they're on one land. So let's go Grand, Springleaf Drum, Storm Chasers. Man, this is such cool synergy. Tap Grand, and then we get to discard something just from tapping it to the Springleaf Drum. Yeah, we're going to pitch this Abandon Attachments. Yeah, like all the cards just work together so well in this deck. All right, so they do find second land, and they have second removal spell for second Grand Grand. Do they have... And they have... We're fine with trading a Boomerang Basics for Otter there. All right, pretty awkward. Their removal lined up pretty well against what we had. Are we playing around Reckless Rage? I think we should. So let's just fire this off. Wow. Glad to get those lands off the top of the deck. And we are at 12 already. So we'll see. They have another Swift Spear plus Storm Chaser. So they are tapping out. We are going to 8. A Pyroclasm would be... Wow, we draw another land. So let's go Vivi, Abandon Attachments, discard land. But we're actually... We have to hit... Okay. Well, 2 spells kills us here. They have Academic Dispute. And yeah, that will do it. All right, game 3. We just need to draw a Pyroclasm. And we are back to the draw instants and sorceries part. That shouldn't be the hard part of this deck, but these last 2 matches, you would not believe that we actually are playing instants and sorceries in our deck. Let's play Beyond the Play. This is a little risky, but we're going to keep. We just have so many draws that turn on these Boomerang Basics. Steam Vent's untapped. They're thinking. So that means they have Spell Pierce. So if they don't play anything... Okay, they just play Swift Spear. They have a Spell Pierce in hand. Let's cycle these one of these Boomerang Basics. All right, we draw Springleaf Drum. We need... We're really just looking, yeah, for Grand Grand, Vivi. Okay, so they sleight of hand. Looks like they potentially kept a 1-lander again. And they find second land. That was a pretty snap keep from them on the sleight of hand. So we draw Verge. So we go Springleaf. We go Storm Chasers, and then we can accumulate Wisdom. And will we do the cheeky get in for 3? Yeah, we will. And we'll pass. We'll accumulate Wisdom on their turn. Turn on future accumulate Wisdoms, and it turns on this flow state. We're not going to block here. We'll take 3. Likely Spell Pierce here. But we got to get it out of their hand at some point. Yeah, we knew they had this Spell Pierce. But it wasn't going anywhere. They didn't get prowess triggers off of it, so we're fine with how that ended up playing out. All right, so here we can Grand Grand, and then Boomerang Basics the Springleaf Drum for a card, and then that will turn on the Grand Grand. I like that. So let's play the Grand Grand. Let's wait until we have a few more cards to tap her, because we don't want to discard either of these right now. So let's... Actually, having double otter here. We don't have Vivi. The odds that we go for a win here are a bit lower. So yeah, let's tap an otter here. It's close. I don't love the otter tap here because we could get in a lot of mana, but we don't need full control on. All right, we find a Pyroclasm. That's really good. So we'll play the Springleaf Drum. Now let's flow state, and then we can decide. All right, do we need? We can take second Grand. Actually, or no, let's just develop our mana. And oh, sorry, I thought that we had. All right, we should have taken second Grand. Big, that's a whoopsies. But we can just. So Pyroclasm is our last reduced spell this turn. So let's activate Gran. Discard land. Okay, so now we can actually save our Gran. So let's go Gran to hand, Storm Chasers to hand. Okay, sorry. Cancel this. Play Moxamber. Float a blue. Gran to hand, Storm Chasers to hand. Sorry, kind of an awkward turn here. Now, oh my god, what am I? Oh my gosh, that was a misclick. I meant to play the Pyroclasm first. That's a big blunder. Now we're gonna kill our Gran with our Pyroclasm. Sorry, I'm getting a little tired. Sorry about the mistake there. Attack with Otter, do 8. Do they have the Pyroclasm to answer our Pyroclasm here? Next turn, we can start bringing back instants and sorceries, but we also just have 3 Otters on the battlefield. So if they don't have Pyroclasm this turn, we can potentially just aggro them out. Looks like they have, okay, Academic Dispute. This can get Iroh's Demonstration. Okay, good turn from them. Oh man, all right, we find Vivi. We find Vivi, but let's just level up here. Actually, no. So we play Vivi. We have access to 1, 2, 3 mana, and this forces them to, yeah, let's just play Vivi. They're not playing 3 mana removal, and this lets us go way crazier next turn. Okay, so Storm Chasers town. Okay, so now okay, just a Boomerang basics. That's fine. What is left in there? Okay, another Boomerang. Okay, we draw land. Does this change what we do now? So we draw land. Now we'll have 1 extra mana. We play Vivi, 1, 2. Okay, now we can activate Storm Chasers. We can't cast anything, but let's just grab and accumulate wisdom. Oh! Oh my gosh. Get the punt counter going. How many whoopsies can we make this game? It even tells you. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. It was kind of a long day for me. I'm getting hungry. The misplays, the misplays are strong in this last game. Let's see what our opponent has. We know about the Storm Chasers. Academic Dispute doesn't do it. They need Reckless Rage. Reckless Rage doesn't necessarily beat us here. I mean, we're at 14. I'm not sure. Is this the salty timeout or is... Okay, so there's one timeout. They're thinking... Okay, they play a flow state. Again, they're looking for Reckless Rage here. And now that their Otter is 2 mana... Okay, they sleight of hand. Again, they're looking for Reckless Rage. Academic Dispute doesn't do it. Do they find... They find a Monastery Swift Spear. They attack for 4. They concede. Let's go. Okay, let's go.